Hello guys, and welcome here to the Jello Cup Series on this Saturday afternoon. Today we present to you race number 19 here today from the Pocono Raceway. Today is the Pocono Organics 325. It is the first of our two races this weekend. It is our final doubleheader of the season, our second of two. And I'm Brian James here in the booth with you today. Starting on the pole will be Astrid Flores in the number 96, and to his outside will be that number 95, his friend, Nicky Martinez, starting in second. Before we get going, let's take a look at your knockout qualifying results, and as you do, knowing that Nate Rattree, Will Ruby Crouch, Keith Stevens, Giorgio Snumu, Trevor Collins, Dan Hummel, and Austin Shaw, they all make the field. But one thing I want you to keep in mind as we get going here, of course this being a double header, if you failed to make this race, you will not be in tomorrow's race. All these 40 drivers made the entire double header weekend. So unfortunately for the guys who missed the field, they just lost out on 2 races worth of points, which is a tough break, to say the least. Also, as we get going here today, after this race, we will only have 6 races left. After this race weekend, we will only have 6 races left. My mistake. So, of course, 6 races left after this weekend until the playoffs begin. Of course, after this double header, we also have our All-Star break, which of course a lot of drivers still vying for that All-Star bid. Some of these guys going to be vying to move up in position, because keep in mind the lineups for the showdown and the All-Star race are set by owner points. So a lot at stake here today as far as that goes in addition to this. And of course, after today, we have a week off until our next race. Well, we have the All-Star race, but if you don't include the All-Star race, we got a week off until our next points-paying race, about a week and a half, because we will be racing December 23rd at Homestead. That will be our next points-paying race after this weekend. So it's going to be about 8 to 10 days before that next race. These guys again, and then when we come back from Christmas and New Year's, we're gonna have 5 races left till the playoffs. So a lot thrown at you, a lot you know is going to happen in these next few races, and it's going to be interesting to see how we get through it all. Stewart Haas Racing, they have a 4 race winning streak. 3 of those races won by Zach Fitzwater. The other one was just won by Sky Commons, most recently at Daytona. Of course, we won't mention that race. So, anyway, let's get going here. Let's roll the intro, and we will be back with your starting lineup for the first of the 2 races here this weekend at Pocono.
You are watching the Gaming Collaboration Network, home of the Jello Cup Series.
Oh, and through turns 3 and 4, we're going to have ourselves another photo finish, and I believe this time the 43 Tim Randolph will win at Daytona.
The Lift National Series. Here we go. They make their way through turn 3 and 4. The pace car will peel off. And for the first time ever, the Lift National Series is green here at Daytona. The Hitachi Truck Series. And here we go. The pace truck is gonna peel off. And for the first time ever in GCN history, we have a truck series, and we are underway under the lights here at Daytona in Tuesday night heat. start for us. Your GCN presentation starts right now.
Here we go, the starting lineup. That's on the left-hand side of your screen. And one thing I forgot to mention in pre-race. We do have another throwback scheme to show you. It is Trevor Collins is blown up. Not quite how he wanted to start this race with that throwback. Of course, that is the Ricky Craven throwback. That was one I was really hoping would make the field at Darlington. Like, that was one I was really hoping would make it in at Darlington, and unfortunately it didn't, and he makes this race only to blow up before the race. That's a tough break for him. Pace car is off. Astrid Flores. And of course the other bad news for him is he'll be starting last tomorrow. But anyway, it's Astrid Flores, Nicky Martinez. Green flag is out. We're underway at Pocono. Of course, we had the truck race earlier. Oh, 3 wide for third. Dustin Davis comes out with not only that, but second place. Keep an eye on Dustin Davis. He has not won a race this year, but he is the points leader by a lot. As Nicky Martinez grabs the lead early, it's still 3 wide in turn 2. Turn 2, an exact mirror of what we will see at Indianapolis in a few weeks when we wrap up the regular season. One thing I should also address as we come to finish the first lap. Not sure if you know this, but of course if you watched Phoenix earlier this season and Pocono's doubleheader last season, as Nicky Martinez leads that lap. But again, I want to stress, if you finish first through 20th, the top 20 in this race will be inverted for tomorrow. 21st through 40th will keep their positions based on, of course, how they finish. So the tough break really for Trevor Collins here, as you see Astrid Flores go back to second. Yeah, a really tough break for Astrid Flores, because now he is going to be starting, or not Astrid Flores, for Trevor Collins, he will be starting in last place tomorrow. And he's going to have a lot of work ahead of him. As Nicky Martinez continues to lead, here comes the 8. You saw Xavier Rain making some moves, and they put Dustin Davis behind him. As a battle for the lead right here into turn 1, I don't think it'll amount to anything, as Nicky Martinez under pressure from Astrid Flores, and Nicky Martinez will hang on for the time being. Now Joshua Scully, he'll look to the inside. Keep in mind, turns 1 and 2, the big passing zone here. If you want to pass to the inside, that's the place to do it. Because again, that turned much like Indianapolis. Again, after this, we have kind of 10 days off. Yeah, so we kind of have 10 days off. Then we return for race number 21 at Homestead. That'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. And that'll be our final race before our Christmas break. Then when we return in January, we'll be back at Zen Joltis for the next race. Then, and this of course all after tomorrow's doubleheader race number 2. Then we got Kentucky, Nashville, Canadian Tire, and Indy. That will all wrap up the regular season. That should all be on tap for January. So we got a really busy month ahead of us here on GCN in the future. As you see there, the battle for second is on. Xavier Rain and Joshua Scully. Keep in mind, Astrid Flores as well. One thing to keep in mind, again, the points at stake. All those guys behind Nicky Martinez, minus Dustin Davis, have to worry about their playoff position. As we got a battle for the lead, and it won't amount to anything again, as the two Toyotas will stay out in front. Here goes the 32, Joshua Sakali for third. Dustin Davis, he's back there as well, trying to battle to that outside. I don't think he will. And up front, two leaders are bumper to bumper. We should have stops coming soon. So I want to address as well, if you saw the truck race this morning, of course that race finished under caution. Not the way we wanted to finish the race, but it was brought to my attention by a few of you guys at Milwaukee that you would like to see some more overtime finishes here on the GCN side, not just on the super speedways. I am currently exploring that option. I don't know if it's going to happen this season, since I don't want to be the guy to change the rules in the middle of the season, but just stay tuned. We could potentially have an announcement coming soon on what we're going to do as far as overtime finishes if need be. Because right now it's exclusive only to Daytona, Talladega, Zen Joltas, and Ricky. As you saw there, the battle for the lead, but it ends right there because these guys are coming to the pit lane. Look at this. Everybody, well, except for those guys who did pit a lap sooner, everybody but Nicky Martinez pits here. And you gotta imagine this puts her in a bad spot, because all these guys that come off the pit lane are gonna have the draft, and whoever comes out in first is really gonna have the fresh air, or the clean air, and the fresh tires. Not to mention, had a caution come out there, this really would have been a mess. Sky Commons wins the race off. Here comes the 95. Is that 16 of Tyler Faden now the race leader? That's the real question. Look at some of those guys behind. Are they the ones battling for the lead? Let's keep in mind, some guys are playing some strategy. To see if they can move up the grid there, and you see the 16 coming back in. I believe the lead will go, maybe, maybe not. And it won't. And the lead goes to David Paschal for now, but here comes Nicky Martinez. And she'll fall all the way to 5th. David Paschal, now the race leader. Here's a rookie who would love to make not only the All-Star race, but the playoffs, and really complicate this picture. But right behind him is Willow Ruby Crouch. Keep in mind, as Willow Ruby Crouch goes to the lead, that's a go-or-go-homer who could pull off a huge upset with a victory here today. And while she took the lead for a moment, she falls back to 2nd now. And that just shows you how valuable pitting early, or short pitting, how valuable short pitting is here at Pocono for those fresh tires. It really messed up Nicky Martinez. Of course, the rest of the weekend here, tomorrow we have the Lift National race. That will be here at 11 a.m. Eastern from Pocono. And then we'll be back here same time, same channel tomorrow for the Pocono 350. And of course, once again, positions 1 through 20 will invert for that race. So that's something you're going to want to see. Positions 21 through 40 remain the same. As we look on back, Dustin Davis fell all the way back to 11th. Keep in mind, Dustin Davis has a 105-point lead entering this race. Of course, he is beyond safe, but he is also averaging a top 10. So you got to imagine a little bit of concern here that he fell back to 11th, and look at just how far back he is. That may be the bigger concern. Now the guy he's been battling with, the guy leading the playoff points race right now, is Zach Fitzwater. And I'll tell you, he may be mad he's in 20th, but I don't think he'll be mad if he stays there, because keep in mind, if he finishes in 20th today, he's the pole sitter for tomorrow. So maybe for him now it's going to be all about just managing this position. Although he's going to have some pressure coming from Samet Ozkan, a guy who does need a win and needs to get things going here. Of course, both of those guys were winners here last season. Samet Ozkan won this race last season, the first one. Zach Fitzwater won the second one here at Pocono last season. So both defending winners of these races, starting toward or currently mid-pack. You can see David Paschal pretty slow. Gotta imagine not much speed in that car because he's brought in Joshua Saculli into this battle. And for Joshua Saculli, I can't even remember the last time he won. He's got, I believe, a huge, if I'm not mistaken, he's got a pretty big winless streak going as well. So you imagine he would really like to get a win. Around goes the 15. Willow Ruby Crouch. Nicky Martinez involved. Oh, Dustin Davis is involved. Huge incident here. Caution is out. Oh, the 42, the 00, they're involved. I think the 4 is going to make it through. But a really tough break for Dustin Davis. The points leader is out of the race. Not the start he needed. And on top of it, he is going to be starting at the back tomorrow for sure. Not what he wanted to do here today. That is a really tough break for him. Let's go see what happened. Dallas Jordan and the 15 get together. It looks like the 53 just gets in too deep. And just up the track they go. And Willow Ruby Crouch just blocking most of the track. You see she gets into Nicky Martinez there. Really damages that 95, and just now you can tell she's trying to stay out of the way, but Dustin Davis, I don't know if he didn't see her or he just did not react very well, but Dustin Davis about to get a DNF here, so not a good start to a doubleheader weekend for him. Austin Shaw, Mitchell Collins, the winner earlier today, he's out now. There's Patrick Smith, Diego Yepes, 2 of the champions involved. And you see there it's just blocking all of turn 3. And do these guys somehow get through it? It looks like they do. And somehow they do. That's good news for all of them. Let's see if we can get an onboard with Dustin Davis. Let's see. We might have a helmet cam. Let's back it up. And we do have a helmet cam. So let's watch this full speed. You see, headed down here, he's braking, trying to get out of the way. I think he thought Willow Ruby Crouch would go back up the track and just didn't anticipate this. That's a tough break for the 5 of Dustin Davis. Done for the day. Not going to get the result he wants, and let's take you back to the green. We are getting ready for the restart here. Here are all the cars out of the race right now. Tyler Rattray, Mitchell Collins, Austin Shaw, Willow Ruby Crouch, Dustin Davis, the points leader, Tyler Faden, Sky Commons, your most recent winner, facing some trouble. And of course, Trevor Collins was out early in the day. The rookies are running the day though here, as it is Dallas Jordan restarting in the lead, David Paschal second, Xavier Rain in third, Mohamed Zain Abdullah in fourth, Brandon Harris fifth, Dan Hummel sixth, Astrid Flores in seventh, Zach Fitzwater in eighth, Samet Ozkan in ninth, and in 10th is Diego Yepes. So despite being involved in that wreck, the 53 or the double zeros up front, as the green flag waves were back underway, 5 laps of racing to go. And the question will be, did that dent hurt the 53? As you see to the inside, here goes David Paschal, and if he's going to make the pass in turn one here, this is going to be the time to do it. And he won't do it this time. He's under pressure from Xavier Rain to that outside. Dallas Jordan she's gonna have a very angry driver after this race. Of course, not just the 15 of Willow Ruby Crouch, but that 5 of Dustin Davis, I imagine, not going to be very happy with that 53 when this is all said and done. One guy who will be happy with that 53 is that 4 of Zach Fitzwater, because that will certainly help him in the points battle. 4 laps of racing to go rather. Here goes Xavier Rain. He's going to dive it in deep and hope it sticks. And he might have just taken the race lead. A pass in turn 1, we have not seen that much today. And Xavier Rain is now the race leader. The 53 is going to try the crossover though. Will it work? It will not. Or it will rather, but they will battle side by side entering turn 3. It will be 3 wide actually. The 77 David Paschal. He's going to slide up the track. They're going to touch. And side by side to the line. Looks like David Paschal's going to lead the lap. Here goes Mohamed Zain Abdullah. That's for the lead now. And 3 laps to go. Xavier Rain thought he had it. And now Xavier Rain battling with his teammate back there. That's Dan Hummel and the co-owner of the team. So here we go. Mohamed Zain Abdullah will now try to set himself up for his 2nd win of the season. You see him following in the tracks of that 77. Oh, they're slowing down. 77's going to pit. Coming to 2 to go. That'll hand the lead to Mohamed Zain Abdullah. 5 miles of racing to go. You see they're 3 wide back there for 3rd. Maybe 4 wide. Keep an eye on this. This is nuts. The 11, the 2, the 4. And the 11 and the 4 make contact. Up front. Do these guys have enough fuel to get to the finish? And if they don't, keep this in mind, the guys who have pitted a lap earlier have had an advantage. So this could hurt the 17 and the 65. Oh, they're slowing down. I think they're coming to the pit lane. Will anyone back here pull a gutsy move, stay out for the race win? And in fact, a few will. One is that 3 of Nathan Faden. The white flag waves. 1 lap of race and go, presented by Mitchell's Memes. And the leader is Nathan Faden. Keep this in mind, he's one of the few that pitted under the caution right before the green in an attempt to try to make it to the finish. And if he can hang on, he's going to get a big win here. Nathan Faden, I believe he fell just 2 points short of making the playoffs last season. If I'm not mistaken, he fell just a matter of points. For sure, he fell a matter of points between making and missing the playoffs. He wants a shot at redemption, but he's going to have to hold off the 18. Here goes Casey Naneko through turns 3 and 4. Does the 3 have enough? They're side by side. Let's switch the camera. Who's going to win this race? Nathan Faden by a fender is going to win at Pocono. Congratulations to Nathan Faden. He gets a win just in time. Of course, he's got to be saying finally, and hopefully for him this season, it will not end in heartbreak like it did last season. The big question, who finished 20th? The 88, Dick Clark. He'll be your pole sitter tomorrow. When we get restarted here, same time tomorrow. We'll see what Dick Clark can do in that Ally Chevrolet. But the day belongs to Nathan Faden. We want to thank you for watching. I'm going to show you results and standings. And also, before we do that, let's point out another thing. Keep in mind, Scott Upton, I believe he had another race where he was 2 laps down at the start and somehow rallied back. That team does not give up, and Scott Upton comes home in 7th. A good run for that 43 team, a much-needed one. But anyway, now let's show you results and standings, and we'll be back here tomorrow for race number 20 from Pocono. Until then, goodbye everyone.